share their perspectives on the announcement. The mayor of Kansas City, Kansas, David Alvey, Todd Platt, CEO of Hillwood Development down in Fort Worth and Dallas, the vice chair of NASCAR, Lisa Kennedy, a longtime friend of the state of Kansas, Dave Zeal, Chief Development Officer at Urban Outfitters. You'll love hearing from Dave. U.S. Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas. You know it's a big deal with senators here. Good to see you, sir. And of course, our governor, Laura Kelly, who's leading our state through some pretty extraordinary times. My name, as Raina said, is Tim Cowden. I'm president and CEO of the Kansas City Area Development Council, the regional business attraction and marketing organization for the two-state, 18-county region. Pardon me for mixing my sports metaphors this afternoon, but I get to lead off with the news of why we asked you here. Urban Outfitters, after evaluating markets across the central United States, has selected a site in Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County, to be the home of its newest e-commerce direct-to-consumer fulfillment center. This decision by Urban Outfitters, a multinational retail corporation with more than 200 stores, will create nearly 2,000 new jobs with an investment of approximately $350 million. Urban Outfitters' selection of Kansas City is significant. Our region's central location, robust infrastructure, and skilled workforce are the main reasons why Urban selected KC. Now, Urban Outfitters is a socially conscious company. Its mission is to do better every day. The company's presence will be a strong addition to our region's business community as we all continue to ensure KC is a welcoming, equitable, and collaborative place to live and work. Now, economic development on any scale is a team sport, and a project of this magnitude certainly reinforces this truth. Every organization represented here today played a major role, along with many others, including the team at the global real estate firm Colliers International, led locally by Ted Murray and Ed Elder, the Wyandotte Economic Development Council, led by my friend and colleague, Greg Kendall, and David Francais from the Stinson Law Firm. But every team and every project needs a quarterback. And in KC, we all know a little something about great quarterbacks. In our case, because this was such a large deal, we had a few great quarterbacks, and we needed all of them to get the win. First, our team appreciated working with Dave Zeal and his team from Urban. Dave never wavered from his commitment to see this project through, even as a global pandemic hit about midway through the process. He did everything he told us he'd do, and I know Urban will be a great partner here based upon the tone that he and his team set. You'll hear more about this gentleman in a moment, but David Toland was incredibly engaged, and he and his team at Commerce were creative and focused on making this happen for the state of Kansas. His leadership was in full effect. Congratulations, my friend. And my quarterback, Chris Gutierrez, the president of KC Smartport, was excellent. He won't like me giving him this credit, but he darn sure deserves it. Like any great QB, he made the plays when he had to, always kept the chains moving, and he got the dub. Great job, Chris. Now I'm going to turn to one of our coaches, the head coach of the Unified Government, Kansas City, Kansas, and Wyandotte County, Mayor David Alvey. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Cowden, Tim, for those remarks. On behalf of the residents and businesses of Wyandotte County, I welcome Urban to our community. I thank you for the trust you place in Wyandotte County and in the state of Kansas. I want to say that when I visited Urban headquarters in Philadelphia this past February, I was deeply impressed by your vision. Obviously, the business plan is financially successful and sustainable. And yet, on the way to success, you choose to work for the success of your employees and your host community. Urban is the kind of community business partner that we need to attract as we continue to grow our tax base, as we try to provide more and better services to all of our neighborhoods throughout Kansas City, Kansas, and Wyandotte County. This project has community benefits written all over it. Just consider these facts. Urban has committed to a significant and long-term investment to the site. Their investment will spur even more economic activity in the area. They are committed to creating up to 2,000 jobs and will strive to hire 35% of their workforce from Wyandotte County. They have committed to using minority and women-owned businesses during construction of the facility, and they have resolved to work with the unified government to provide transit solutions to their employees. I was especially impressed by that factor when I visited the site in Philadelphia. There is more. They have committed to help solve a very serious need for childcare for their employees. And they have committed to all of these while committed to paying a wage of $18 per hour. That's a significant improvement for the median for our families in Wyandotte County. We all know the very serious economic challenges that the COVID pandemic presents to us. And yet, in spite of those challenges, we continue to see new development in Kansas City, Kansas, and the state of Kansas. My congratulations and kudos to Wyandotte Economic Development Council, the Kansas City Area Development Council, to Secretary Tolan and Governor Kelly, and to our new partners, Urban, for bringing this project to KCK. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Up next, it's my pleasure to invite Todd Platt, CEO of Hillwood, to make some remarks.
Yeah, and I'd also like to thank you, Mayor. It's tremendous to be a part of a positive announcement, given what's going on around the world today. And in our 200 million square feet across the world, we've had the great privilege of working with companies and communities. It's really extremely rare that we see such a complementary partnership of stakeholders coming together on a project of unbelievable significance, driven certainly by urban outfitters with brand recognition around the world, a strong retail company, really unique in the industry today, and a company that's not new to e-commerce. As a matter of fact, this is a continuation of their investment in the strategic part of their business. A land partner like Nascar, and who doesn't know Nascar? One of the great American stories, a company that has always done the right thing and it has been such a significant contributor in your community. A company that Hillwood is very proud to partner with on their land projects across the country. And it's really great for us to be back in Kansas City and to work with the various levels of your government there. A government of true professionals, a government that's proactive, a government that comes to the table with business solutions for business projects. And speaking for Hillwood and Rossboro Jr., I can tell you that it's so refreshing that you will see a lot more of us in your community in the future. We're really excited about being your development partner. And on behalf of Hillwood, you have our total commitment of all of our resources to do this very, very special project, which we really believe will be the envy of other logistics projects around the United States and around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Up next, I would invite Lisa Kennedy, Executive Vice Chair of Nascar, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, and it's an honor to be here today and to be with all of you and to join in on this exciting news. Quick background, back in the late 90s, we started looking across the country for a place to have a NASCAR Cup Series event. We found the Heartland to be very welcoming, and specifically Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County, and the state of Kansas, and nothing about that has changed. That relationship over time has only grown, and we this past year we joined in with Hillwood Best in Class to help us with our different properties across the United States and to see what the highest and best uses were for each of those areas. And in Kansas City, this property was just absolutely perfect to be able to do a deal like this with Urban. And I would just say to everybody at NASCAR and also Pat Warren at Kansas Speedway and his team, how excited we are to be a part of it. And I would like to say to our new neighbors at Urban, you could not have picked a better place to do business. The state of Kansas, Wyandotte County, and Kansas City are absolutely excellent partners. We've done business just like Hillwood has all over the country, and they're second to none. So welcome as neighbors, and thank everybody here on the call today.
Thank you, Lisa. Next, I invite Dave Zeal, Development Officer of Urban Outfitters, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a pleasure to be on the call, though a little strange. I would rather be in person. I would start with simply saying 10 months. Chris, through the pandemic, I want to recognize Chris of KC Smartport, keeping this together, keeping us moving forward. And I just want to make that brief acknowledgement. Outside of that, we started transparency. Urban Outfitters is about partnerships. It's about developing partnerships. And I actually consider that the most important role of mine and responsibility of mine. And what I can tell everybody on this call today is for the last 10 months, me and my team took that very seriously. And I can tell you, we started, and I never started a meeting. And I think Todd, Governor Kelly, David Tolan, anybody here knows how I started that meeting. People first. That was the number one driver of this decision. And not just people, not just workforce. Kansas wins on the quality of the people, where we're selecting the site on the quality of people, but also the quality of the people, the developer, Hillwood, okay? Nascar, our land partner. I factored all those. I might have not have disclosed it the whole time, but it was all about those groups of people. And what I'm here to say is it's very simple. It was a pleasure to do business. I will also say it was a pleasure to work on the other side of the river in Missouri. But what I can tell you today is from Urban's perspective, we are just thrilled to make this decision. Governor Kelly, David Tolan, your administration, Todd Platt, the Hillwood organization, Lisa with NASCAR, Tim with KC Smartport. What you folks have done has proven that you knew it was a long-term, major commitment. This is a strategic piece. We're not about building after building. We're about a culture. You all came to Philadelphia. You all identified with what we wanted to try to accomplish. This becomes our linchpin, our largest operation, the centerpiece of ongoing omni-channel distribution for Urban Outfitters. I couldn't be more pleased. I can only say this. If you can walk away doing what I do for a living and feel good about the decision in every partnership, you've achieved something that you can rarely achieve. And we've achieved this from the state of Kansas, Governor Kelly, down through Hillwood, through NASCAR, through KC Smartport, through the unified government, Wyandotte County, everywhere I've done it. We couldn't be happier about the decision. This is our home. We're excited to be in Kansas. And thank you all for working through the process. Thank you all for looking after our needs, our sincerity about what we needed to accomplish in making this site and the state of Kansas our home. So my hat's off to you. Congratulations, and we look forward to great things over many years.
Thank you very much, David. Next, I invite Senator Jerry Moran to say a few words.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to join you. And David, thank you for what you just said. Thank you for the opportunity to get acquainted with you and Urban Outfitters over the last 10 months. But what you just said is something that Kansans love to hear. I know it's something that the mayor and the folks of Wyandotte County and Kansas City, Kansas, and the Kansas City region love to hear, is that we have something to be proud of. We have something to offer. We work well with people. We are partners. And I made that commitment to you that if you chose Kansas, that I would do everything I could to be a partner with Urban Outfitters and with you to make certain that your needs were met here at the federal level, but really across Kansas in any way that we could. And it's such a pleasure to be a part of the recruitment effort, to have you accept our invitation to call Kansas home. And we are very grateful for that. And I have no doubt but the people that you mentioned will all live up to your expectations and be the partner and in that partnership that you want us to be a part of. I'm especially pleased that you, of course, chose Kansas, but I'm pleased perhaps more so for the reason you chose Kansas. And what you've told me numerous times is you chose Kansas because of the people. And there is nothing more important in life than people. There's lots of assets that we all take into account in our lives, but nothing matters more than the quality of people. And you have seen correctly that Kansans are the quality that Urban Outfitters would choose to be associated with. And that makes us feel good. We're glad to be chosen, but we're even more glad to be chosen for such a good reason. You set the stage for other developments in Kansas City and in our state. The reputation and quality of Urban Outfitters is renowned, internationally known, and the arrival of your company to our state gives us the opportunity to use you. In fact, I believe that other companies will look directly at Kansas because you've chosen our state to be your new home. And we look forward to taking advantage of who Urban Outfitters is to bring other partners and other neighbors to the neighborhood. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for answering the question the way we hoped and prayed that you would answer. And welcome to, by all of us, your partners, to a place called home, the state of Kansas. And we're delighted to have you here. I have the opportunity now to bring to the forefront to the governor of the state of Kansas, and I'm pleased to do that. The leadership of the state, of course, is paramount in any success that we have, and her ability to speak for the people of Kansas and to demonstrate to you the quality of who we are is very much appreciated. And Governor, I'm pleased to join you today, and I congratulate you and David Toland and the team for what you've accomplished in bringing this high quality, important business and the high paying jobs that Kansans will fulfill, and will fulfill in a way that they will earn their living and they will have the ability to provide to Urban Outfitters the quality of work that Kansas provides. So thank you for your leadership, and delighted to join you here today on a special announcement for you.
Thank you so very much, Senator. I am very grateful for all the work that you put in to ensuring that we would celebrate today. So, and it is a great day to celebrate this new partnership between the state of Kansas and Urban Outfitters. From day one, my administration has prioritized rebuilding Kansas's broken foundation, from fully funding our schools to passing our transportation and infrastructure plan, getting Medicaid expansion for 150,000 Kansans, which I'm not going to give up on, and restoring our economic development tools. We believed our new foundation would be an economic driver and would allow Kansas to be competitive on the global stage. But we didn't know that when we started this, that our country would also be facing the worst public health crisis in a century. But despite COVID-19, today's announcement has furthered our resolve that Kansas is on the right path. This is a transformational project for our state, bringing new high-profile corporate partner like Urban Outfitters, up to 2,000 good-paying jobs, and approximately $350 million in capital investment to Kansas. When I met Dave and Lou Croco and the Urban team for the first time in December, we talked about our visions for how economic development can transform our communities. And we talked about what is possible when the public and private sectors work together in partnership to do big things. Since then, Dave and I have called, we have texted, we have met in person, as we've worked to make sure this is the right fit for both of us. And I can say without reservation, it is. We appreciate the investment this omni-channel distribution center is for Urban Outfitters, and I'm proud to say that this is the beginning of what I hope will be a long partnership between the state of Kansas and your company, Dave. Urban Outfitters saw the value in our central location and our strong infrastructure. But I know, as others have said, that they also found out more about what makes our state so special. It is the people, the Kansas work ethic that is unmatched anywhere. Dave, we know you're going to love your new home in Wyandotte County. We know you'll quickly develop an appreciation for the outstanding workforce that'll be coming your way. It's also worth noting that days like this aren't possible without the support of an engaged economic development team locally and at the state level, working with our private sector partners. I want to especially thank Casey Smartport, the Wyandotte County Economic Development Council, the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, and our team at the Department of Commerce for all of their efforts. I also want to say a bit more about the team here in Kansas that helped make this day possible. Last year, I tasked the Secretary of Commerce, David Tolan, with rebuilding our economic development infrastructure, and we're now reaping the benefits. I want to thank Secretary Tolan as well as Jose Romano with our business recruitment team on the East Coast, who was a driving force in getting this deal done. I'm proud that we have wasted no time putting Kansas on a thoughtful path towards growth. Although COVID-19 has presented many new challenges, we're moving forward with flexibility and old-fashioned hard work needed to jumpstart our economy and bring still more success stories like this one to our state. We're not going to stop here. I'm confident that the foundation we're building will encourage more companies like Urban Outfitters to bring their businesses to Kansas. Today is a significant win for Kansas, no doubt about it. It's made possible by our great partnership with Urban Outfitters, an American company. I appreciate everyone who came together to make this project a success, and I look forward to continuing our strong partnership with Urban Outfitters and you specifically, Dave, here in its new home. Welcome to Kansas.
All right, thank you very much, Governor. At this time, we're going to open it up for press questions. Reporters, quick reminder, if you could hit your virtual raise hand button. If you have a question, I will announce you and unmute you. And if you wouldn't mind, before you ask your question, let us know who it's being directed to. Our first hand here is Sean Wheat from WIBW. Hello, Sean.
Hello, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. First of all, welcome to Kansas Urban Outfitters. This is a question I have for everyone is, with these jobs, Senator Moran, you talked about they're going to be high-paying jobs, and Governor, you can comment, but looking at these jobs, about 2,000 to be created. When you say high-paying, how high-paying could these jobs potentially be? And then also, what type of economic impact it could have for the state? How many dollars could it bring into the state? And how are you as a company going to recruit people from all over the state to come work for your facility instead of just focus on the Kansas City Metro? Because there's a lot of people in Kansas who need jobs.
We lost connection.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Sean,
Are you guys able to hear me okay?
You dropped off there at the very end, Sean.
Sorry about that, Governor. I was just asking, how many, with those 2,000 jobs, how many of them, what type of high-paying job will that be? I mean, are we looking at a minimum, not minimum wage, but somebody could see a decent salary to live in Kansas City or a Newton or Wichita? And then also, how much of an economic impact could that be to the state of Kansas, dollar-wise, over maybe like 5-10 years? And then how is the company going to recruit people from all over Kansas? Because there are several Kansans who are now looking for new jobs.
Dave, do you want to take that one, or?
Yeah, I can step in. It's like an earnings call, a lot of questions at one time right there. So I will start with, first of all, 2,000 jobs and the physical investment over a long-term period of time, 4 to 5 years. And we just can't up and run at full capacity. This facility is a long-term investment in the state of Kansas, which will require us to build our capacity and continue to grow our capacity over years and years. As we fulfill those jobs range from white-collar management jobs to supervisory roles, technical roles, very elaborate MHE equipment maintenance roles to standard warehousing roles to standard logistics roles. So it's a great mix of varying wage and salaries, but overall, Urban always puts itself in a very competitive advantage. It's a highly complex facility. Want you to know that, and it requires an immense and talented workforce to run it. As far as recruiting, we have a wonderful team in distribution that will network and recruit throughout the region that's reachable and wants to be or participate in a facility. So we can tell you our logistics and distribution team have their own recruiting and human resources teams that will reach out, work with both local, with Mayor Alvery and those teams, as well as at the state level on local workforce and engagement, and on their own as well to recruit and open up that recruitment at the broadest range we physically can. So very excited. Again, remember our commitment to recruiting. We are about people at Urban Outfitters, just like you are in Kansas, and we'll continue to work hard to create a long-term family within our building and a long-term culture that represents how Urban's built all of its other facilities in our company.
Wonderful, thank you. Our next question here is from Kevin Hardy. Kevin, you should be able to talk there.
Yes, thank you. For Secretary Tolan and maybe Mayor Alvey, I'm just curious if you can tell us what sort of public support locally and statewide will be provided to this project, and what kind of inducements or incentives are on the table for it?
So we are still finalizing the details on the incentive agreements. We should have that done in 6 to 8 weeks, at which time all that will be announced.
Yes, and so I won't speak to that. As Secretary Tolan said, there's some details still to be worked out. What I will say immediately for the city of Kansas City, Kansas, we expect about $270,000 a year in additional revenues for the city of Kansas City, Kansas. That's very significant for us. And for the Bonner Springs School District, about $220,000. So that's significant for us, and that's just year one. So we're very happy for that, and that's going to continue to increase over time.
And it couldn't come at a better time in the state's history to have an increase in revenues.
Okay, thank you, everyone. That is all the time we have for questions. Thanks for joining us. We'll conclude the conference here.
Take care, Dave. Thank you, Senator. Thanks, everybody else. Mayor, it's good to see you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to conclude the news conference with Governor Laura Kelly along with the folks over in the Kansas City area. Again, the big thing on that one was that Urban Outfitters is going to be coming to the Kansas City area, and they will build a distribution center, which could bring about 2,000 jobs, and they're going to have their recruitment locally there, but then also look at recruiting for those 2,000 jobs throughout the entire state of Kansas. So that's what we have details-wise from that. Really didn't get into a normal talk about what's going on with the COVID-19 pandemic, mainly just talking about the overall the development in the Kansas City area. So that's what we have. We'll have details on our website at wibw.com and kwch.com. I'm Sean Wheat. Have a great day.